y'all, how's it going? Welcome back. It's Mia, and I wanted to talk about the night that I had yesterday. In fact, it's the night that I'm sure hundreds of thousands of us had as we stayed glued to our phones and stayed glued to our laptops. I'm talking about, I guess, what I'm calling the night that Twitter almost died. I don't think I had seen anything like this in the history of ever on the internet. It was really funny because, as you know, we've seen recently the zoo that Twitter has become since Elon Musk bought it, and all these changes are starting to happen. And so us as Twitter users, we've been kind of like, okay, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? But last night, Thursday, November the 17th, just kind of felt like the pinnacle of that. It felt like the climax of that because there was this whole really big shakeup of people quitting Twitter and layoffs, and we'll get to that in a second. But just from my standpoint, it's like you go away for an hour, like to cook dinner, and then you come back and everyone is writing these goodbye messages and, you know, like, sayonara guys, I'll see you on the other side. Here's my phone number. Here's how you can pigeon call me. Or please send me a telegram from the heart, you know, leaving all their social media and stuff that's not Twitter. And I legitimately thought that this might have been the night that Twitter snaps, just because some of the things that I have heard. Now, New York Times has a pretty good article that says resignations roil Twitter as Elon Musk tries persuading some workers to stay. I believe basically what happened the night before is that Elon Musk sent out an email to all of the employees, basically, and I believe this is we had a round of layoffs as well. And so he sent an email where he gave everyone an ultimatum. I believe he was like, let me know by Thursday at 5 p.m. if you're going to stay with the company. But in return, what he expected was hardworking, you know, around the clock, 80 hours a week, stuff like that, you know, where it sounds like some of the stuff that goes on at Tesla, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know a lot about that, but you hear things, right? And so he gave everyone this, like, basically like a 24-hour ultimatum. But I don't know if this is desperation or what, but New York Times says Mr. Musk and his advisors held meetings with some Twitter workers whom they deemed critical to stop them from leaving. He sent confusing messages about the company's remote work policy, appearing to soften his stance on not allowing people to work from home before warning their managers, according to those people and internal emails. So it almost seemed like he was like, no, wait, you know, because he had this hard stance about coming back into office. You know, we got to work together as a team. Working from home is donezo. And so all the while, two people said resignations started to roll in. By the deadline, 5 p.m. Eastern time, hundreds of Twitter employees appear to have decided to depart with 3 months of severance pay. I mean, that's a great deal to me. Twitter later announced via email that it would close our office buildings, quote unquote, and disable employee patch access until Monday. And yeah, the billionaire has laid off half of Twitter's 7,500 full-time workers, fired dissenters, and told employees that they need to be extremely hardcore in order to make the company a success. So yeah, a lot of these big, you know, no one is being specific about who's saying this. Obviously, they want anonymity, and of course, that's right. This guy here says, anyone who says they know what's going on Twitter is lying. No one there even knows how many people quit. It's likely that Elon doesn't even know. They'll probably have to do an actual head count when they open on Monday. And it's weird. It's like you're hearing like the whole accounting team is gone, or maybe a couple people are there, or the whole HR team is gone. So there's really no one even to do a head count anymore. So that is mostly why we were running around like chickens with our heads cut off, us as Twitter users, because all we're getting are, you know, these kind of secondhand accounts, and we're like, am I about to lose literally everything that I've ever had on this platform? Now also, like, RIP Twitter was trending, goodbye Twitter was trending, but here this person says the trends were started by staff members who quit their mourning for having to quit the jobs they love due to a 36-hour ultimatum. So I'm like, I don't know a lot about, I took like one coding class in high school, and that was years ago. And so I'm like, I don't know a lot about engineering or coding or website building, but it just sounds very suspicious when you have everyone leaving the company one way or another, on top of, something's got to hold this together, right? And this person puts it, at least is what I was thinking, it's important to note that the longer this goes on, the higher the risk of it all falling apart. Recently, Twitter's engineering team noted that they do not have a cold boot plan for any of their systems. That means if part of Twitter goes offline, it may be gone for good. So obviously that's really extreme. Like, Twitter could be gone for good. And I mean, honestly, I was thinking about it. I was like, I have been on Twitter. It says I've signed up since May 2009, which I do remember being about 13 or so. Like, this was, I think I signed on like right as I started hearing about it, right as it got popular. So that's like 13 years of my life, from when I was in middle school to post-college, all here on this, wonderful little platform. But I will say, like, there were, like, now I feel kind of, I don't know, bound to Twitter in a way where, especially with my profession, you have to be kind of up to date and always on Twitter. Like, I am always on Twitter. But I will say, when it first started out, I did like that before, you were on Facebook and it was just your friends and family in your feed. But there was something special about Twitter, and especially about fandom, because all of a sudden it was like your tweets, your thoughts were showing up with celebrities like Miranda Cosgrove and Ellen DeGeneres and Ashton Kutcher, Justin Bieber. Like, those were the people who were the top dogs back then. And so it was just kind of cool to be like, oh yeah, look at my thought, it's me and Ashton Kutcher. Jonas Brothers. And of course, the novelty began to wear off eventually, but I still do think that as a platform, it is useful. Twitter does have value, and especially, like I said, because me being in news and keeping up with things, it's a great way where I can just literally go on my homepage and like, it's like a millennial CNN, right? Did the world blow up today? What's going on? What do I need to know about? And I feel like other websites can't really fill that void. Like Facebook, their algorithm is all out of whack, and it's really just family and friends and Minions memes and all that. Instagram as well, it's Meta, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. And again, the timeline is all out of whack. You might not find out about something until 3 days later sometimes, because the feed is just so messed up and they're prioritizing reels. And who gave a valiant effort through all this is Tumblr. People were looking for that next big website, and so Tumblr was like, allow me to step in. And I have had my Tumblr since sophomore year of high school, so since 2000, I believe 11, if not 2010. That's a long time, and I didn't stop being on Tumblr until maybe 2019 to literally 2022. I took a pause and I would come back every now and then. But my only problem, again, is Tumblr is a great place for fandom. It's a great place to interact with people that you don't know, and I kind of prefer it because I get to say crazier stuff or look at crazier stuff on Tumblr than I do on Twitter. But it still doesn't serve that purpose to me of being a more up-to-date, newsy sort of place. And then on top of that, interacting with other people, interacting with celebrities. You kind of want to keep your circle small and very niche on Tumblr, and on Twitter it's a little more open, right? Like, I like following the news on Twitter. I don't like following the news on Tumblr. And so I think MKBHD says it best. He said it best last night. The irony of following Twitter's chaos on Twitter. That's just, I think it encapsulates and explains Twitter's place in the world the best, because it's like, if a big event were to happen without Twitter, or if Twitter were to go offline, I wouldn't know what to do. Am I supposed to watch CNN? You really expect me to watch Anderson Cooper? I don't want to do that. Please don't make me do that. Don't get me started on TikTok either. I really don't think that is a place where, if you're going to get up to the minute news, you can just forget about it. That being said, if anything, it has been a good run, and as much as people may say Twitter is a necessity, we need Twitter, if it were pried from my cold dead hands, I would just have to get over it. I think that like, this reliance on Twitter might be the one thing where I know I'm like, if I were just free of it, imagine this what society would be like, as I'm now on Reddit and Instagram and TikTok more. But yeah, it has been a good run, and I will say one of my best achievements, I've had some hit tweets. When I was running professional Twitter accounts, I got Mark Hamill to interact with my Twitter accounts 3 times. That's pretty top dog. My only regrets, I never got to 1,000 followers and I never got a verification check mark. Like all my other friends who are in the same industry as me, I just didn't get it. And I'm not paying $8 a month for that. You gotta be crazy. So yeah, I think Twitter serves a place in fandom. Twitter serves a place in all of our hearts. But you know, if something happens, something better will grow in its place in society. Might just be better for it. So if you would like to help me get to 1,000 followers on Twitter before it goes all upside down, go follow me at Mia J Media on Twitter and as well as Instagram, where I love to be there as well. And let me know what you guys think. How long is Twitter gonna last? Is it gonna last longer than that lettuce? The UK lettuce. Leave a like if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.